To start the surface marking of borders of heart. So first we'll start with upper border. So you can see it's mentioned upper border. So upper border will mainly start it's a straight line and it's formed by the point at lower border of second left costal cartilage. You can see this is a second costal cartilage. So it's a left side second costal cartilage. It is the starting point. It's about 1.3 centimeters from the sternal margin. So you can see this is sternal margin. So it's 1.3 centimeters from sternal margin, and from here it will go to the point at upper border. So it will go to the point at upper border of third right costal cartilage. So you can see it's going towards the upper border of third right costal cartilage, and it's 0.8 centimeter from the sternal margin. So if you see, this one is 0.8 centimeter from sternal margin, and next the lower border is marked by straight line. So this is what made up of upper border. So mainly on left side you will have the second costal cartilage, on right side you have the third costal cartilage. Now we'll see the lower border. So the lower border is marked by straight line and by point at the lower border of sixth right costal cartilage. So on right side, if you see, the sixth right costal cartilage is having 1 point and 2 centimeters from the sternal margin to point at apex of the heart. So it's a point to apex of the heart in the left fifth intercostal space. So this is a fifth rib. So the space between fifth and sixth rib is called fifth intercostal space. So in the fifth intercostal space, you can find the apex of the heart, and it's 9 centimeter from the mid-sternal line. So mid-sternal line, here it has 9 centimeters. Now let us see the right border of the heart. So this is the right border. The right border is mainly marked by a line convex to right join, and it joins right ends of upper and lower borders. So you can see it's joining the right side ends of both upper and lower borders, and maximum convexity is about 3.8 centimeters from medial plane in fourth space. So this first one, second one, this one, first one, second one, third one, fourth one. So in the fourth space, if you can see the maximum convexity, and left border. So completed right border, now left border. The left border is marked by a line which is convex to the left, and it joins the left ends of upper and lower borders area of chest wall, and overlying heart is called precordium. So this area is called precordium. Once again we'll revise about the heart borders. So upper border, the upper border is mainly formed by right side third costal cartilage. So if you see right side, here you have the third costal cartilage, and next and also the lower border of second left costal cartilage. So if you see, this is right side, sorry, this is right side, this is left side, right? So on left side mainly you have second costal cartilage point. You can see second costal cartilage, and at right side you will have the third costal cartilage. So this will form the upper border, and the lower border you can see it's in the fifth intercostal space, and it is forming apex, and this side you can see it's in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th intercostal space. So that's it about the borders of the heart. Now we'll see the surface marking of cardiac valves, auscultatory areas. So the sound which is produced by closure of valves of heart is mainly heard by stethoscope. So pulmonary valve, if you see, we'll check out the pulmonary valve is a horizontal line. It's 2 centimeters. You can see here. This one is a pulmonary valve. It's mainly, I'll point out here. So it's mainly 2.5 centimeters long behind the upper border of third left costal cartilage. So it's third left costal cartilage, upper border, and it's adjoining the part of the sternum. And the auscultatory area for this is second left intercostal space. Second left intercostal space. So this one, second left intercostal space near the sternum, is auscultatory area for pulmonary valve. Next, for aortic valve. So you can see here, this is the aortic valve. It's a slight oblique line behind left half of sternum at the level of lower border of left third costal cartilage. So lower border of left third costal cartilage and its auscultatory area is second right costal cartilage near sternum. So you can see this is aortic area. Auscultatory area is second right costal cartilage near sternum. So next coming to mitral valve. So mitral valve, if you see, it's an oblique line long behind left half of sternum, opposite to fourth costal cartilage, and its auscultatory point is cardiac apex. You know where the apex is located, right? Apex. Near the apex, you can hear the mitral valve sound. Next, you have the tricuspid valve. The tricuspid valve is most oblique of all valves, being nearly vertical, and it's behind the right half of sternum, opposite to fourth and fifth costal spaces. You can see opposite to fourth and fifth costal spaces, and this can be heard in the lower end of sternum. So this is a tricuspid area in the lower end of sternum, and this is a mitral area where apex of the heart is situated. You can hear the mitral valve sound. So these are the areas. You can see the areas name where the auscultatory points, whereas the valves where it's their location. So now we will see about the veins. Now we are going to start with arteries. So first we'll start with internal thoracic artery. So in the diagram you can see this is the internal thoracic artery, this red one, right? So internal thoracic artery is also called as internal mammary artery. It is marked mainly by joining the points like a point 1 centimeter above the sternal end. So this is a sternal end, a point above 1 centimeter sternal end of clavicle. So you know this is clavicle, this is sternal end, so 1 centimeter above it, right here. 3.5 centimeter from median plane, so here, exactly over here. And the point marked over the upper 6 costal cartilages, means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to here. Upper 6 costal cartilages, which are at a distance of 1.25 centimeter from the lateral sternal border. So you can see this is a lateral sternal border. So this one exactly in the 6 upper ribs. And next you have the last point is marked in the 6th space. 6th space means, so this is a first space, second space, third space, fourth space, fifth space, sixth space. So in the 6th space, 1.25 centimeter from the lateral sternal border. So this is a marking, the surface marking of our internal thoracic artery. So because it's a course, it's starting from, you can see exactly at the sternal end, that is, you know, sternal end of clavicle. So clavicle sternal end is nothing but the medial plane. So here is starting. You can see internal thoracic artery. From there it is in the 6th upper ribs, and it is divided into the superior epigastric artery. You can see here. So this is about internal mammary thoracic artery. Next we will see the pulmonary trunk. So now we are going to see the surface landmarks of pulmonary trunk. The first mark will start at the pulmonary valve by horizontal line. So where is the pulmonary valve? You know the pulmonary valve will be on the upper border of third costal cartilage. So see the third costal cartilage. So this is the first one, second one, third one. So here this one here you have the pulmonary valve. So from the pulmonary valve by horizontal line 2.5 centimeter long, mainly along the upper border of left third costal cartilage. So left third costal cartilage, where is the left side? This one, this is the left third costal cartilage. So from here the pulmonary trunk will start, and partly over the adjoining part of sternum. So like here, nearly at this, exactly at this part. And the mark the pulmonary trunk by 2 parallel lines apart from pulmonary orifice upwards to the left second costal cartilage. So from here it will move to the left second costal cartilage. So you can see here clearly left second costal cartilage. Now we will check out the ascending aorta. You know this is the ascending aorta. So its first mark is the aortic orifice by slightly oblique line running downward and to right over the left half of sternum, beginning at the level of lower border of left third costal cartilage. So it begins at the level of left third costal cartilage. You can see here, this is 1, 2, 3. This is the left third costal cartilage. Is begin here and mark the ascending aorta by 2 parallel lines 2.5 centimeter apart from aortic orifice upwards to right half of sternal angle. So this is the right half of sternal angle. You can see this is a sternal angle point. So here it ends. So this is a ascending aorta. Next, coming to arch of aorta. So you know this is the arch of aorta. It is lying behind the lower half of manubrium sternum. So it's behind the lower half of manubrium sternum. Okay. So above you have the manubrium sternum. So it's behind the manubrium sternum, and its upper convex border is marked by line which begins at the right end of sternal angle. So it begins at the, you can see this right side, right end of the sternal angle, arches upward to the left through the center of manubrium and ends at sternal end of left second costal cartilage. So it ending at the left second costal cartilage. You can see till here. Arch of aorta, intercostal space. So this is also called second intercostal space, and this is arch of aorta. So here it ends in the second left costal cartilage. So one thing you need to observe that it starts and it ends at the same point, at the same, you can say, beginning and end of arch lie in the same level. That thing you need to remember. See, almost same level. It is beginning. Sorry, only for the arch of aorta. So it's beginning here, even it's ending here. See, same level. Now we are going to discuss about descending thoracic aorta. So descending thoracic aorta is marked by two parallel, it should be marked by mainly the two parallel lines 2.5 centimeter apart, which began at the sternal end. So it begin at the sternal end of left second costal cartilage, and from there it passed downwards medially and end in the medial plane 2.5 cm above transpyloric plane. So just above transpyloric plane it ends. So this is transpyloric plane. So above that it ends. About descending thoracic aorta. Now we'll see brachiocephalic artery. So where is brachiocephalic trunk? Here you can see here. So the brachiocephalic artery will be, so this one, it's mainly marked by extending from center of manubrium to the right sternoclavicular joint. You can see it's starting from the center of manubrium, and from there it's going to right sternoclavicular joint. So here you have the sternum and clavicular joint, right? So it is moving towards that side. Next we'll see left common carotid artery. So you can see the left common carotid. So it is a thoracic part of the artery marked by broad line extending from a point little to the left of center of manubrium to left sternoclavicular joint. So this is going to right sternoclavicular joint. This is going to left sternoclavicular joint. Next we'll see the left subclavian artery. You can see here. This is also thoracic part of left subclavian artery marked by broad vertical line along left border of manubrium little to left common carotid artery. That's it. It's just left to the left common carotid artery. Very simple. So by this we completed the arteries, heart, borders, and also the valves of heart. In next video we'll see the veins and certain viscera and also radiology of thorax anatomy.